Yo, what's up? It's still Thursday. It's still Realness Challenge. And it is still day 17. I wanted to double dip a little bit because there's some stuff on my mind that I just thought was, maybe worth sharing. I've been trying to, and it came to me this morning while I was dropping off my little bug, Harry, at daycare. I can tend to, a lot of my life, I would tend to push away from routine because I didn't want to be a robot, or I didn't want to be a slave to a schedule, right? And it's amazing how little I got done and how hard I defended that, right? And it's taken, about 6 years since I was realizing that's not going to work. I got to be more disciplined. I got to be more structured, right? And with that comes time management, which I personally am not always the best at. And yet sometimes the thing that's the most glaring perceived weakness in some ways maybe even gets the most attention. And so in a lot of ways potentially shows the most fruits of my labors, right? So I don't know where I actually fall in the spectrum of successful time management, because all I've got is what I'm doing and then what I perceive others to do, which I got to let go of, right? So it just, I've gotten into these routines, and in general I try to start my day with something spiritual, and I try to end my day with something motivational. And then this concept of active recovery that I've been working on as I train for ultras, I've really started to be more intentional in my interpretation of that in my day-to-day life, right? Staying engaged, but in ways that are not going to just burn me out, right? Like keeping things fun, keeping things interesting. I love to learn. I love to be inspired. And there's only so much time in a day, and I've got to support my family, and I've got to be present for them. And so, I've been real creative, and I'm really one of those people that's a fan of the concept of, essentially the more things that you put in your life that are important, the more you call out, and then more of the richness you get out of those things. And then as things show up that you really, really want to have as part of your life, you get creative and you figure out how to make that happen. And then you make sacrifices in other places. Fitness has replaced photography in a lot of ways. And yet those are big chunks of big changes. And at a smaller level, I've packed my day with more fitness and with more sort of research and listening to podcasts and learning about interesting things. And so, Thursdays are a day that I have to go into a meeting, so I actually have to put on decent clothes. And I have to meet with people. And my tradition was, for a while, get up at 7:30, somehow slam together, getting completely ready, get the boys in the car, and get Benji to school by about 8:05, and then I take Harry to daycare on my way to the school, to the office. It's a school district that I have to meet at, and then I just sort of have this hour where I'd look at emails or whatever, And today I realized, I got up at 4:30. I hung out with my son, and he discovered finally how to tie his shoes. And we had that moment together, all before I normally get up. And then I got home. Today's a one-off where Jennifer's taking Benji to school. But I got home, I got dressed, I got ready for my meeting. I laid on the bed and cuddled with Harrison for maybe 5-10 minutes, spending time with him while he's watching Minions. And I'm listening to a podcast series that I'm really big on right now, Vet Speak. So I'm listening to stories of veterans as they deal with, their service, whether it was combat or not, and just how they approach life. And it's super, super interesting. And I've been resisting the temptation to be checking emails or looking on, Facebook for now, right? I'm not going through some retarded fast against this, that, or social media or whatever, these extremes that people suddenly get fed up with and then bite off. Like, I'm gonna ban myself from Facebook because I spend too much time on social media. You know, if you want to punish yourself, that's fine. Learn to balance yourself. Learn to earn things, right? That's been kind of my thing lately. So yeah, and this is kind of just a monologue again. Apologies. But it was just, my exploration and my investigation with time management. I've already accomplished so much today. It feels really, really good. I'm on my way to my meeting, and except for this little 5-minute message, I'm going to continue with my routine of listening to some of that podcast. And then when I get to my meeting early, then I'm going to sit down in a quiet spot at the school district and read some more of my ultra book I've been reading. And I think what I like about that is I'm not slacking on my work, professional work, but I'm actively recovering from that, so that when I hit that meeting, I'm fresh, right, and I'm motivated, and I'm engaged, and I'm able to, be completely present and focused on the actual job itself. Then I'm going to hop in the car and take another meeting for my boss, where he's going to ask a lot of report type questions and statuses and updates and numbers, and and then I'm just going to move through the day that way. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for listening to a second rambling of Day 17 Realness Challenge, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.